This DoorDash driver shares how much she actually made for an hour of work. And it's not worth it, according to this article. So let's check this out. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding DoorDash on social media, which is understandable given the sheer number of drivers employed by the application. There are approximately 1 million folks who fire up their smartphones and see if there are any folks nearby ordering food from their favorite restaurants. It's not difficult to see why so many people work for services like DoorDash and Uber Eats. You can pretty much work anytime that you want, whenever you want, and you don't need to report to a direct supervisor. There are no set hours, you can set them yourself, and if you feel like cutting out of work early, then that's entirely up to you. But as it turns out, this immediacy and ease of use doesn't don't necessarily yield big bucks for DoorDash drivers. In fact, there are a number of folks who deliver for the platform who have highlighted how little the payouts are for some of the orders they receive. And a TikToker by the name of Tiana at Tiana.com documented how much she received in an hour while delivering for DoorDash. Her final payouts, factoring in expenses, came out to way less than minimum wage. So let's turn up the volume and check out this video.
Hey, it's currently 6:30. I'm in a DoorDash right now, and let's see how much money we make. First order, $8.75, picking it up from some restaurant that I don't know. Just pulled up to the restaurant, and they're literally closed. They're closed, so I'm super confused. That was a super fun waste of time. Just kidding, I'm an idiot. This shit smells amazing. Wow, their house is really nice. Literally thought that was an apartment complex. I was like, fuck, I hate apartments. No, it's just a big ass house. Yo, he tipped me $7. I love rich people. Next one's $9.25. It's from this place called Koi. Sounds fancy, so let's do it.
Koi. What is koi? Ah, crap. Ah, Jesus. Just play the goddamn video.
Definitely fancy. Also, this feels like so light. Like, it's probably just like one roll of sushi. You know who orders that? Rich people. No! Oh, no, that's enough there. Okay, it's 7:30, an exact hour after I started this. I made $21, which honestly isn't that good, but they can't all be wins, you know? It's just realistic. Really have to pee, though, so I'm gonna call it a night.
So $21. Okay. So in the clip, Tiana performs a variety of deliveries and shows what a typical work hour grabbing meals for DoorDash customers looks like. She writes in a text overlay for the video, DoorDash with me for 1 hour. She says in the video, hey, it's currently 6:30. I'm going to DoorDash right now and see how much money we make. First order, $8.75. Picking up from some Yeah. Let's see. So in the caption for the video, Tiana wrote, after the gas, I made $4. So TikTokers who saw her post were less than impressed with her payout. However, there were some dashers with some tips on how to maximize your time delivering for the application. At Sugabug Angel wrote, I've learned the first hour is just your gas money, and I always dash for at least 3 or more hours. This person says Uber Eats is good money. Sometimes I would choose Uber Eats over DoorDash to deliver, and Uber also gives you money back for gas. Oh, that's pretty nice. So another TikToker at Fergalicious456 suggested what delivery drivers should do in the event that they go and make a pickup from a restaurant and it turns out to be closed. If they are closed or someone took the order, call the company and tell them and they will give you compensation. It's usually $3, but better than no. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, so that's basically it on this one. And the thing is, in my opinion, I think the only way where like this really makes the most financial sense is if you're in an area where everything's basically close to you, so you're not really spending a lot of gas per delivery, or potentially they're close enough to where you could just ride a bike to it. Or if you do use a car, hopefully you have an extremely fuel efficient car, maybe like a Prius or something, or have a fully electric car. Then maybe at that point, since you're not spending any money on gas, you might actually make more profit per delivery or per day, depending on how often you do this. Because I have seen some DoorDash drivers and some Uber Eats drivers bring in like 2 to 4K per month, depending on the area and depending on how they're actually doing their deliveries, right? There was an Uber Eats driver that went on a podcast show or whatever on YouTube, and I think he was bringing in like 2,500 a month, and he was doing it within like a fully electric car. There's another person who was basically able to make a few $100 per hour, and they were just riding on their bike to do all their deliveries, but they were like in a downtown city. So I think it really depends on what is your running cost going to be for every single delivery, or at the very least on average, right? Because if you're spending like for example, you wouldn't be doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, if you're doing it in like a muscle car or a sports car like a Mustang GT, Chevy Camaro, that sort of thing. You wouldn't be driving that type of vehicle and doing this because you're just basically burning cash because of the gas cost. But doing this in a Prius might be profitable. Doing this in like a base model Nissan that's good on gas probably would be profitable. Doing this with an electric car, you're more likely going to be profitable, even after factoring in the cost of like a car payment if you were to go debt route, but don't do that. If you were to do it, just buy a car cash if you can. But yeah, you really got to make sure that the numbers make sense. The thing is, I wouldn't really rely on this source of income if this was like my main thing, unless you could literally get orders at the snap of your finger, right? Because if you live in a rural area, there's no way that you're going to be able to do enough deliveries to where they're actually profitable for you to make sense. If you're in a downtown area where you could do it all by bike or scooter, electric scooter or whatever, yeah, go ahead. If you're in like more of like a suburb area, but you have cheap transportation, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But other than that, I really don't know how you could justify doing this just by the sheer cost of actually doing this. Like, that just seems kind of crazy.